Hello again, Internet. This is Olin from What I'm Listening To. Today, I have for you some more albums to show off. And in this case, these are all experimental records. These are all albums that I have picked up. Yeah, they're all albums I've picked up from the experimental section of Amoeba. So they are totally weird and kind of unconventional stuff that some of you may or may not like. Some of you may enjoy it based on the stuff I'm gonna play in the video. But I was going through a big experimental kick, and every time I went to Amoeba, I would go right to the experimental section and just see what they had to offer. Some of these things I bought because I knew the band, and some of them I actually bought because of the cover, or I don't know, just something told me I needed to get it. So I'm about to show you what I have here. The first thing is a Jim O'Rourke record. So in the past vlog, I talked about getting Jim's Bad Timing, and the album after that was this one right here. This is Eureka. This one's interesting. So anything Jim releases off the Drag City label is more of his conventional music. This one is probably definitely the more conventional stuff of what I'm about to show you, but I still consider it experimental, mostly because he plays with so many different genres of music. So Bad Timing, as you remember, was just him playing on guitar and riffing around, and those songs range from like 9 to 10 minutes, if not a little bit longer. This one dives into some poppy, chamber pop, orchestral things, but there are definitely some experimental elements where they drift off into electronic-y ambient realms. He just plays with various genres. So this one, and then releases later, he dives into almost alternative country, pop rock, traditional 70s Japanese influence stuff. So he's just a man who can't sit still with genres. He just plays with everything, and I appreciate him for that because that means he creates interesting music. So I have this one. This is a great album, and I love the cover. I love the just guy playing with a bunny in his, well, you know. So this is a great record, and it's worth checking out. This next one I knew nothing about. I bought it because the cover looked cool and it was only $1.99. This is Ulaan Khol's album 2. So initially I had an idea for a video where I was just gonna go to Amoeba and go through the experimental clearance section and just buy like 4 or 5 albums, which then I would show off on here. And when I did do that, I quickly realized that there's a lot of stuff that's down there that looks cool, and the idea of it is cool, but the music itself was really not stuff that I wanted to get. But amongst the pile of things that I sampled was this one. I didn't hate what I heard in the little listening section of Amoeba, so I decided to get it. This one was weird, so I bought it and I put it on my iPod and I had been listening to it. The first listen through, I wasn't really paying much attention. It was just like background music. And then in the middle of, I think the second listen through, I suddenly was like, oh wow, I actually really like this. This is great. So the third listen through, I paid very close attention to this, and I love it now. He has done some tremendous work. It reminds me a lot of Flying Saucer Attack's Instrumentals 2015. It's just him playing atmospheric, distorted guitar and layering those guitars just to create something unique, ambient, spacey, which is all stuff I love. So this is a very fascinating album, and considering that it's just called 2, that implies that there is a first one, so I scoured the internet to find the first one, and I did, and I also found that he did a third one, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, Amoeba didn't have those 2 other ones in the clearance section, and I checked a lot, so I just ended up getting them online. So I have them digitally, and I have this one physically, and you have earned a new fan, Ulaan Khol, because you're amazing. This next one is by a group called Bing and Ruth. I remember stumbling across these guys prior to moving here months and months and months ago. I loved this cover. I knew that this was going to be a new release coming up, so I knew of their existence, but I didn't necessarily know their music. And so when I did finally move to San Francisco, I had completely forgotten about them until this was presented in the experimental section, and I didn't really know it was them because the cover is just so ambiguous, which is what I love. So when I was looking at it and studying the back, I saw that it was Bing and Ruth, and I was like, oh yeah, this band is a thing. This was a new album, so it was gonna be like, I think it was 15 bucks or something like that. So I didn't buy it immediately, but later on I decided to get it, and I'm glad I did because this music is absolutely beautiful. It's very piano-based music, and that's like the center of attention. There's two bassists, which I found interesting, a clarinet player, and then somebody who's doing tape delay. But those other elements are so subtle, and they're just there to create this wonderful ambience. I would honestly say that this is great rainy day music. I know I've been saying a lot of the albums in the past vlogs are great rainy day music, but this one is definitely for sure great rainy day music. And it was almost perfect timing because, once again, San Francisco has been going through a weird phase where it's sunny during the week and then it's raining during the weekends. It's sunny right now, so I'm hoping it's gonna stay like this. However, when I was riding on the bus, I would put this one on and just kind of zone out looking out the window and seeing the rainy gray skies, and it made things a lot more beautiful. So this is a great album. It's off the 4AD label, which has put out some tremendous stuff, and I love them. I think they're going to be coming here to San Francisco to perform live, so I'm going to be going to that, and I love this one. This is great. This next album is I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'll just do it right off the bat. This is a band called the Charalambides. I think I'm saying that right. This is an interesting group. So they are I don't know if they're related or if they're married, but it's Christina and Tom Carter. Tom plays the guitar while Christina is on vocals, and they do this weird atmospheric chanting, it's hard to explain. It's just very unique music. It's definitely experimental. It's out of the ordinary. It's hard to explain. Without using the terms that I've used to describe the last album, but it's essentially that. It's atmospheric, weird, sometimes noisy stuff. I was exposed to this group because of a certain compilation album that I may or may not describe next up here. But they had a song on that compilation, and I wanted to explore more of their stuff. And I found this one and was immediately attracted by the cover. Covers just play such a huge role in the things I buy. And so I bought this one, and I really enjoyed it. The first track on here, Dancing, is super, super good. There's only 8 tracks on here, which is sad because I want there to be more, but the album is a great listen. It's very strange music, and I really enjoy it. So, great album. Good job. So this last piece, as I mentioned, the random compilation, I'm very, very, very excited about this one. This is The Harmony of the Spheres on vinyl. I already own it on CD. It's a phenomenal compilation. It's probably my favorite compilation ever. This one comes with a bit of a tragic story. I saw this at Amoeba, and I had no idea that it existed on vinyl, and it was 40 bucks. And so I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. But I wasn't really sure if I wanted it because I thought, well, I already have it on CD, so I don't know if I need it on vinyl. And as it turns out, I did need it on vinyl. But I held off, and I would go in every day and I would just look at it and go, oh man, it's like such a sexy piece of vinyl, but I'm not gonna buy it. So then when I finally decided, yes, I'm gonna buy this, I've decided I want this, I went in and I watched some dude pick it up and take it away, and he bought it. and I honestly wanted to cry. I was so sad. I even talked to the guy and I was like, "Are you gonna buy that?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, fuck." So he bought it, and when I was walking back to work feeling like such a sad sack of shit, I scoured the internet and I went on Discogs and I found this guy selling this thing for $5 less than what Amoeba was selling it. So I ended up paying less than what Amoeba was charging, which in the end it worked out. But I felt sad that I had lost it, and after waiting about a week, I have it now, and I'm so glad I have it. This is such a phenomenal compilation. It's got some amazing bands. It has Bardo Pond, Flying Saucer Attack, which is like the reason why I bought the CD in the first place, Jessamine, Roy Montgomery, Lauren Mezkin Connors, and the Charalambides, however you say them. It's 3 LPs, and plus there is a amazing booklet in here that talks about each band in depth, which is awesome because, especially for Flying Saucer Attack, they're a group that I love to death and I buy everything by them. Unfortunately, not too much is known about them just because they weren't very popular or they weren't very well publicized until the modern day when people are like, wow, who are these guys? They're great. So it was awesome to read up on that, and it was awesome to read up on the other bands on here, particularly I think Roy Montgomery and Lauren Mezkin Connors, which are 2 guys that I really like, especially Lauren. His music has been climbing the realms of stuff I've been listening to. I could go on and on and on about this, but I'll probably just spare the audience as far as this. All I can just tell you is this is a great album, and even if you don't have it on vinyl or CD because the pressings are kind of limited, totally worth checking out. I think the full album is on YouTube or wherever. Absolutely worth a listen. Tremendous music, especially if you're into experimental music. This is a phenomenal piece of work, so I'm so glad to own this in its surprised collection. Okay, Internet, that does it for me. Thank you once again for watching. I'm gonna clean up my mess here because I have a mess of CDs and vinyl on the floor. So until next time, see you later. Bye. Hey, are you still watching? Okay, cool. Hey, so if you want to see a super secret video that you can only access by clicking on this link here, you can see me unboxing this magnificent piece of vinyl and flipping through the booklet that this comes with for the first time, and you see my genuine reaction and my genuine excitedness if you're interested in that. But yeah, click this right here and you can watch the video. Okay, bye.